world, everything is social media related, right? And an influencer is basically a person that has developed a following in a particular niche. That is, for example, if you're into food influencing, travel influencing, beauty influencing, and you're able to affect somebody's position about whatever you put out there. So as Jane has said, for example, they see me wearing something and they're like, oh, I like what Gabrielle is wearing, I want to get that. So basically that's what social media influencing is about in simple terms.
So I heard this somewhere that you might have a 1 million following, 2 million, but still you may not be an influencer. I mean, you can have a whole lot of following with you, but you are not influential. Let me use that word. How to use that?
So the issue here has to do with numbers, okay? Of course, numbers can affect the psychology of people. We have something called social proof. But if you go out right now to get wachi, there are 2 wachi sellers across the street right now. One has a very long queue, one has 2 people standing there. Because human beings dislike uncertainty and want to be sure that the decisions they are making are the right ones, they go with the one with the very long queue because they serve as a social proof that, oh, if 100 people are here, it means they want to be. So I'm going there. You understand? So low-key, the number of followers some way somehow affects or determines whether someone is a proper influencer or not. Let me know if the really affect the decisions of people. You understand? But that notwithstanding, followers actually matters. The more you have it, the more people believe that they're influenced.
So when it comes to numbers, it's a very tricky situation because this day and age we have people buying followers. You know, you can go to someone's page, they have 500,000 followers, but the numbers aren't matching. They post a video, there are no views. They post a picture, there are no likes. So I feel like when it comes to numbers, it shouldn't be the only thing to judge. It matters. It's very important. However, you should focus more on engaging with the audience that you have. Those audiences that you have at the moment are going to open opportunities for other people to come and follow you. So don't get too obsessed with getting 500K followers because it's a crazy world out here nowadays.
Okay, thank you. Now the next question is, does it require any special talent or skill?
I believe it does. It requires a lot of skill, creativity, intelligence, depending on your field. If you want to be able to talk to your audience, you have to also be eloquent. Some people are gaming influencers, so they have skills in the games they play on their platforms. So it does take an amount of skill to become an influencer.
I think we're all used to creativity. You inspire me a lot, Portia, because there are certain things you do I cannot imagine myself doing. I can't do it at all. Amazing. And there are some things that I find myself doing easily as well on my platform. So that's a skill. Somebody can speak fluently, somebody can dance, somebody can rap, somebody can create a story, and come to think of it, how come I didn't think about that? Even the comedians, how they're able to come put their scripts together, it's amazing. So it requires some form of skill, but I don't think it's one that needs a certificate or anything. You need to get to know yourself, self-actualization, realization. What can I do best? What do I do easily? And that's where the skill is.
For me, I would say the first thing you need to be an influencer is to have something to offer, a value. You can never pour from an empty cup. It is what is in you that you give to people. So if you are here and you are yelling to be an influencer, or you want to have a message for the populace, first of all, work on yourself. Improve on yourself. Get the education you need. Get a skill. Now when you're full of all of these ideas, then use the various distribution channels we have, social media platforms, and communicate it to people. And I'm very happy a lot of you here are either marketers or communicators. So first of all, it is good you are here, soaking in all of this knowledge, learning a skill here and there. Now when you are full of it, That's what the lecturers do. When we get out of here, they go to their offices, they learn, then they come to academy. Influence you. Do the same thing for yourself. This time around, we are talking about using social media platforms to contribute the kind of value you have accumulated over that period.
To add one more thing, if you decide to be an influencer, probably you see me dancing as part of my craft, and you see me into comedy and all that. Do not also jump into dancing or comedy because you think, oh, it's beautiful, but what are you passionate about? We have fashion influencers, we have food influencers, and a whole lot. So you have to look within yourself, know that, okay, this is what I'm passionate about. Because if there's no passion, I mean, it wouldn't, I was told that whatever you do, try to enjoy it before. If you do not enjoy what you're doing, your audience wouldn't be able to. So thank you so much for that. Our third question is, what is actually your take on nude modeling? Nude modeling.
I believe that with nude modeling, it depends on the type of image the brand is trying to portray. And with that, I personally, I don't associate my brand with nudity and all of that. So I believe it's just the image they decide to portray. Do you get what I'm saying?
Do we agree with her? Do we agree with Ms. Mahalia? Okay, so Ms. Gabriella, what do you think?
I feel like whatever you put out there, if you're comfortable putting it out there and like seeing it on a job interview, then feel free and do so. But it's also important to know that depending on the location or country you find yourself in, you should also take note of how they go about certain issues. I think I'm not sure about the year, but there was this Russian influencer, right? She traveled to Bali, vacation, Bali, people go and, do what they have to do there. And she took a nude photo by a tree. And I mean, she didn't think so deep about it because it's like she felt free, she's in a different country, but she's about to face jail term of 6 years because that is a sacred tree that she took a picture by. So when you go to another country, even as an influencer, maybe you feel like that's what your followers want to see. Just be sure about the laws of that country. And just be comfortable being you and don't do something just for the sake of like the brand is paying you to do it. If you're not comfortable, don't do it. But if you are,
Ms. Janice?
You jump anyway. This is because you don't have male media. Okay. This is mostly a very tricky one. Religion, career, professionalism. Alright? We're professionals here, so let's go direct. That's the content they want to put out. Right? They are selling something, isn't it? Okay. So there's nothing wrong with them portraying nudity. But now the internet never forgets. Is that all you want to do for the rest of your life? Are you doing it for that period because I really don't have any work to do? Is it just out of passion? Is it just for fun? Don't you want to work in a beautiful space one day? Don't you want to inspire? Don't you want to have a family? There's a generation coming, they'll also go on the internet and validate whatever we are doing right now. What do you want to put out there? Alright? So I really don't like to judge them. Okay? I really don't. Posterity will judge us, but I really don't like to judge them. Allow them to do their work, but when I meet them in person, I'll just ask them, is that what you want to do for the rest of your life? If you don't want to get to a board where they display your pictures and ask you, oh, this is what you've been doing online, I'm sorry, madam, you really cannot get that job. And we are aging, alright? We didn't see this digital age a few years ago. We really didn't see it coming. And I believe it's going to fade away a little and something else is going to come by. We are all not going to be serious social media influencers for long. And that time is coming, something new is going to come. So if it's nudity you want to do and you don't care what happens, somebody even jumped off a cliff and died. Yes, I'm really not sure the person wanted to die anytime soon. But yes, honestly speaking. So we will not judge them. We don't want to share our singular opinions on that.
Our next question. Do you need money to create content? And since Miss Janice is laughing, I think you have to answer this. So do you need money to create content, and what are the resources needed to create content?
You need money to create content. You need a lot of money to create quality content. Because everybody can create content. With your itel, with your Infinix, with your Techno, you can create content in your room, wherever you are. But if you want to create quality content, you need money. Why do you think people go to the extent of borrowing cars to create content? Why do people go and rent apartments and hotels to create content? It's because they want to produce something quality. So it needs money. I know somebody who saved, as Mahalia. So perfect example. Mahalia started with her mommy's phone. Why are you using mommy's phone now? No. All right. You need money. You've got to save for it. Don't use dubious means though. You've got to save for it to buy whatever you want to buy. You need gadgets. You need equipment. All right. You need materials. Some of the presets, you even need to buy it. First, you could go online, get the apps on App Store, they'll give it to you for free. But now the photographers are even selling their presets. So most of the picture edits you see of the models and influencers with some shades and all of that. So the photographers are even selling it. So before you get that, you've taken your picture, you go and edit it. Facetune, airbrush, wherever, in-app purchases, you buy. You buy all of that. Some of them, they're reshaping to give them bigger hips that are not theirs. They paid for it too. It was not for free. In-app purchases, you pay for it. Even the facial, take off your blemish, take off your pimple. Edward, I'm telling you today. Take off your pimple and all of those things. They pay for it. Just because what they want to sell you quality content.
Content creation is expensive, but that doesn't mean that you can't start now. You can start with your friends' phones, cameras, ring lights, but you have to understand that eventually you have to buy your own, and you're going to spend money to purchase those stuff. So don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. I mean, everybody starts from somewhere. They start with one phone, but now some content creators have 4 phones, 2 laptops, like 10 lights. I mean, it's not easy. What goes behind creating like videos that you watch, in your houses and stuff? They use a lot of resources. So you just need to understand that if you want to diverse into that field of influencing and content creation, just be prepared to spend money. However, you're not going to spend all the money at once. You can start little by little. Sometimes you can check Amazon. You don't need to buy them directly from Ghana, because obviously in Ghana they calculate all the other things, the shipping, the taxes. But I mean, if you are purchasing it yourself, it could probably be cheaper. So if you are not able to maybe afford like a ring light right now, you could probably get those portable lights that people put on their phones. I'm sure some of you have seen it, for selfie videos, and then you can turn it to use it at the back, like for back camera as well. So don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Everything you can compromise for now till you are able to actually afford it. Yeah, so content creation involves money, but it doesn't involve 1 million cedis at once. It's little by little. I mean, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
So they've said everything basically. So content creation involves money, but then you can always start small. So like I was saying, it depends on your niche as well. If you are, let's say, comical content, you're a comedian, you do skits, those kind of content, that kind of content doesn't really involve so much inputs unless you want to get to the highest form really quickly. But then when you start, you can start small, simple, in your room, just with the phone you have or with your friend's phone, anyone's phone or whatever. But then to become consistent, you need to get your own devices. You need to get your own equipment and for it to look more professional. So content creation requires a lot of money to come to think of it. You need your lights, you need your gadgets, you need your locations, all of that. So you need to be ready and passionate to endeavor in that field of content creation.
Okay, so lighting is very, very important when it comes to content creation. But if you don't have ring light, you can make good use of the sunlight. Okay, so our very last question. Are there any ethical issues in social media influencing? And how do you deal with hateful comments? This is for all of us.
I personally don't really get much hate from most of my platforms because I feel like everybody is quite respectful because of the way I portray myself. But then when I do get them, I honestly just overlook it and I weigh it. I'd be like, okay, the positives are way more than the negatives. So why should I focus on somebody out there who doesn't know me from anywhere trying to comment on my life or trying to comment on me based on such little information I've given to you? So you should just look at yourself as the bigger person and be like, oh, maybe they are portraying what they internalize within themselves onto you. So you should never look at it as, oh, I'm the problem or there's something wrong with me because of what this one person or maybe a group of people that hate it say. So then with hateful comments, you should just actually have an open mind to it and just focus more on the positives than the negatives.
Okay, so in relation to hateful comments, we all need to understand that sometimes social media gives us the impression that we know somebody when you pretty much don't know the person. Like, I mean, some people go on my page and they're like, oh, this girl, she's probably gonna be snobbish, you know. But not to brag, but I'm one of the most sweetest person anyone can ever have in their life, you know. But social media might make you feel like, oh, maybe if I talk to this girl, she's not gonna speak to me, she's gonna like ignore what I'm saying. So don't get too bothered about what people say on social media. Like, it's the internet. Like, people are sad, like people are depressed. So if they come to your page and sort of like talk bad about you or insult your content, don't take it personal. You need to develop thick skin on the internet. It's very, very important. And I think Twitter is like Edward's playground, but Twitter is crazy, you know. You can post a picture today and somebody can be like, oh, why are your arms looking like this? Or, oh, maybe do your hair like this, you know. So I feel like also it depends on the platform. There's not so much hate on Instagram. Well, maybe there is a few times, but it's not as much as other platforms. So just be ready. As far as you call yourself an influencer or a media personality, just be ready for people to send you hate comments, because in every stage of life that you attain, it comes with a lot of haters, right? So don't be too bothered. Develop thick skin. You can ignore, delete the comments, you can leave the comment, you can lash back at them, do whatever you feel like doing. It is your social media platform. You know what you're creating, you know what you're giving to like the people, you know the value that you have, and don't allow one account, be it a fake account or, you know, an account with someone's name, don't let it, distort your day, because, it's the internet, that's all I'll say, yeah.
Mr. Edwards, are there any ethical issues in social media influencing?
And then I'll talk about the hateful
comments, that's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, since you are all communication students, and if you want to continue on this career path, then these are some of the things you should note. In fact, if I knew I'm going to be a digital marketer, probably I should have done marketing and communications for my first degree. So you guys, this is a very good course you guys have picked. It's becoming one of the hottest career path in the world right now. In your time, they said nursing. It's okay. So please, number one, you have to be professional in the way you do your work. If you're going to continue on this path as a communications person, you are certainly going to be handling social media pages of organizations, of big people. Akufo-Addo doesn't manage his own page. Do you know that? All of these big organizations are being managed by communications people like you. Even if you are the head of department of the organization, you have access to these pages. You have to be very professional in how you do your work. So when I started off, if I get a client, what do? I always do a contract. So if Gabriel comes to me for a digital marketing job, I draft a simple MOU, your responsibilities, my responsibilities, what you're supposed to give me, the deadlines we have, and then I send it to you via your mail. Are you with me? Professional. Okay. Number 2, you have to be very excellent if you want to be very good at this. Okay? Be very excellent. Be on top of your game. If they talk about communications people in your field, they should mention your name. Do you understand? Don't just be somebody who just goes with the flow. Be very good. Your writing skills, that is the best skill you could need as a communications person. People say that, okay, if you can talk a lot, then you can become a PR person or a communications person. It's not about talking too much. It's about the value that you provide. You understand with me? Are you here with me? Okay. And then another thing that you need to note when it comes to the ethical things. We are in a nation where ethics is really, very, very important. Okay. You would get access to so many information from people. If you manage pages of very notable people, you have access to some information that is only meant for them. Please, you have to know how to be confidential in how you manage some of these pages as well. The reasons why so many professionals like me and some celebrities like me for the work I do. Look, when I see, because you manage the page, you're going to see DMs. And if it's a female page, you see a lot of information. You understand? If I'm managing Janice's page, I know the guy Janice likes. I know what, you understand? But you have to be very confidential. None of that information has to go out. You understand? If it goes out, you're likely going to face a lawsuit, or very soon, everybody's going to know that, oh, this commerce girl, she doesn't keep her mouth shut. And every one of us here has information that we don't want anybody to know. Do you understand? So that's one of the things you have to know when it comes to the ethics of the game. Now when it comes to the hateful speech, look, Instagram, these guys are very lovely. If the picture is not nice, cry, go girl. You guys do that. Yes, the love there is so amazing. You understand? LinkedIn, everybody wants to show that I know something. So if you post something, they come and bring that philosophy and now your post, it's okay. They will disagree with you. They might not insult you and all of that. Now I post a lot of career, I post jobs, so I post jobs for people to come to get jobs. I advise people on how to do their interviews and all of that. But when I come and say some few things on Twitter, I don't know how many of you here follow my Twitter, but some of you have been insulting me on Twitter. You understand? Some people insult me. Sometimes I act like they affect me. Low-key, they pay me. Low-key, it pays me. You understand? Sometimes I go to the office and, yeah, of course. Twitter is the place where everybody is a gangster there. That's how we all act like. Everybody can express our opinion there. So if you say something small that people don't agree with, you are likely going to be insulted. You understand? What do? I ignore if I think the comment is not something that would affect my life. I don't come to you for food, so I ignore it, okay? So how do I check your page, I check your likes. No, you're not really doing something better for yourself. Go ahead and sit down. 2, I mute pages that I think can affect my mental health, okay? And the third thing you can also do when you're getting a lot of hateful comments is to block the people that are coming at you. Okay, block them. And then the fourth thing that I need you to do is that you have to do a reflection over your life. If you are getting so much hateful comment, it could be that truly something they wrong you. You understand? So you have to check yourself and see if there's some truth. Listen, maybe your makeup not really go well. You understand? You have to take the feedback. Okay. So as communicators, communication is never complete without one. Hey. Charlie, nobody is a doctor that I knew.
Lecturer is here.
Communication is never complete without what? All right, so when you're getting that kind of negative feedback, it could be that truly something that go on well for your side. And I think if you follow up this thing, it should be good online. Thank you.
Thank you so much. An applause for us. Okay, so thank you so much. We've come to the end of our questions. So we have just 10 minutes for questions and answers. 3 questions. We are picking 3 questions.
Okay, so I'd like to, this question goes to Ms. Mahalia and Ms. Bosharike. So how do you manage academics and content creation or influencing, as both require time, energy, and in some instances, money?
Personally, every day you see me post at least 1 or 2. It doesn't mean that every minute I'm creating content. So I find time during the weekend and I create all the videos I will need for the whole week. And then from Monday to Friday, if I need to attend lectures, I attend. Sometimes I go for business meetings and sometimes I miss 1 or 2 lectures, but when I'm back, you try to cover up, you go through your slides and all that. So basically that's it for me.
You need time to learn, you need time to do so many other things. So it's just mainly about time management. Like she said, she creates her content mostly on weekends. I personally create my content also in bulk because that one saves more time. So just make sure you're managing time well and you're also not neglecting studies. Because one semester I really messed up because of content. So I'm trying very hard right now to stay on track.
This question goes to Mr. Edward Asari. As a digital marketer for a corporate brand, what are some of the digital tools that you use on a daily basis? And if you are one that uses Google Ads, can you share with us, if you are one that uses Google Ads, can you share with us how that platform is helpful to you and how you even use it? Thank you.
I used to use third-party apps. Okay, so for Twitter, I could use TweetDeck. I could also use other platforms like Crowdfire. I have TalkWalker, okay, to schedule my posts. Mind you, some few years ago, you can't schedule posts on these platforms. But all of these platforms have learned and they've developed to the extent that all of the services that these third-party apps can provide are right inside the apps itself. Okay, so me personally, I shy away from third-party apps when it comes to social media. Number 1, to avoid hacking. You are managing a company's page like UPSA. If I lose this page today, I beg. You understand? It could create problems for me. You understand? So I shy away from third-party apps when it comes to social media management. The page to be hacked. Also, Twitter, for instance, and some of the social media pages are sort of ties with some of these third-party apps for whatever reasons we don't know. You understand? So I shy away from them. I use these applications themselves. When I want to do analytics of the pages, I use Facebook Analytics. I use Twitter Insights, same as LinkedIn as well. Okay. On the content creation bit, I have a graphic designer who uses all of the graphic design tools to create content for us. Of course, this is another area that if you're a comms person, you can go into. Trying to learn communication design, if you have a desire to learn how to design artworks and all of that, okay? But I have some good knowledge in Photoshop and how to use Canva to create some very decent content on my pages. There is, however, another social listening tool, okay, called TalkWalker, that you can use to do social listening, to know what people are saying about your brand online, okay? The PR professionals, you need it a lot because you have to always detect negative content. This platform is, however, highly expensive. So it is mostly the major groups that are able to purchase it and give it to their comms people to do social listening. So what this tool can do is that when you can listen the whole of Ghana and see what people are saying about UPSA. And then if there are negative comments, it would give you all the negative comments that are being said about you. So you could rate them into red, yellow, and green. Okay, and then you as a comms person or the PR person can use that tool to determine what messaging you are supposed to give to the public to change the notion about what they are saying. But just like I said, it's very expensive. Also on Twitter, just so you know, Twitter, you cannot run ads from Ghana here directly on the platform. Try. Go to the country section. You don't see Ghana in the list. We had some meetings and they said they would add it. Still, they haven't done it. Okay, so if you want to promote content on Twitter, you need a sales partner like Ad Dynamo or Entravision. These are certified sales partners of these social media platforms. They would help you set up an ad account on Twitter so that you can promote your content. It is very easy on Facebook and Instagram because you could actually go to Instagram and Facebook and just by a click of a button, you can boost your content on the platform. So these are some of the things that I use. Just like I said, remember, I shy away a lot from third-party apps because of hacking. Thank you very much. Also, the next question, right? Google Ads. So running Google Ads is about web ads as well. One thing you can do, you can either go directly to the websites where you want your content to be shown on, okay? I'll finish version, okay? So let's say Ghana Web or My Job Online or yen.com or Pulse Ghana. You can actually go directly to a marketing manager and then they will put your ad on their platform. What they also want to do is that because they know they get a lot of money from direct ads, they sometimes block the Google ads from their pages, okay? However, you can just go to Google Ads, just go Google it. It will give you a step-by-step procedure as to how to set up an ad and add a payment method. Just add your content, add your call to action or your copy. You know what copy is? Your caption. And then just go live with your ad. Just like that on Google, okay? It's too short a time to talk about how it works. Thank you.
For a new lifestyle content creator entering the content creation industry, which social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, do you consider the most beneficial? And what SEO strategies or search engine optimization strategies would you recommend for quickly driving engagement and exposure on those platforms?
If you are a starting content creator, I would really advise you to take TikTok seriously because I feel like this is the whole TikTok age. Instagram has been there for some time and slowly it's dying, but TikTok is growing every day. I mean, they want to ban it in the US, but take advantage at the moment and create interesting content. People go to TikTok to ask, oh, how do I pair my jeans? Oh, how can I make egg stew? Or how can I make light soup? Or, I mean, whatever you post on TikTok should be very interesting. And I think Portia is the best person to speak about TikTok because that's what I would advise any upcoming content creator, because as far as you have developed your niche, which is very important for any social media app, so you decide, are you going to focus only on lifestyle? Are you going to focus on beauty? Are you going to focus on getting your hair like makeup, food, travel? So once you identify that, try and create content around that. You can check for influencers in that field that have been there. I'm not asking you to copy anyone, but I mean, you can see a couple of ideas and how they shoot their videos, why it makes it very interesting for you to continue watching their videos. Because I mean, someone can come to your page, start watching your video and be like, no, I don't want to watch it anymore. So it's very important to understand your niche, very important to think of the kind of content that you feel like this niche would be greatly associated with. So that's what I would say, yeah.
I feel like for the most beneficial, do you mean as in which one pays the most or which one is the most, okay. So with me, I think if you want to be a lifestyle content creator, the one that is most beneficial is going to be YouTube. But then with YouTube, it takes even more effort, the most efforts actually. So then with YouTube, it pays directly if you start up and you reach your targets early. With TikTok, I feel like TikTok is also very good in growing and exposure and all of that. But then a lot of brands have not really started. I mean, Ghanaian brands, I'm sure international brands have, but then Ghanaian brands have not really started marketing on TikTok. But then with YouTube and Instagram, you can also, if you want to be a lifestyle content creator. So yeah, you can actually focusing on three is going to be difficult. So if you want to really focus on one as in a lifestyle, it could be either YouTube or Instagram. TikTok as well too, if you have the energy to add it.
If you are here, those on with me here too. I'm talking to you. It's very important to use all the platforms. Number one, this is why. If they love you on Instagram and you don't go to Facebook, guess what I will do at Tamale will do? He create a parody for you. Grow the page with your pictures, and then they will be ripping off you or they will be scamming people in your name. So what you do is that create all of these platforms, and with the cross-posting feature on all of these social media platforms, you can actually cross-post from Instagram to Facebook. And then just copy the content, the caption, if it's good for LinkedIn, put it there as well. Just make it a little bit professional. You understand? This is one of the things you have to do. And when the organizations come to you, like USAID, went for a meeting currently, recently, some few months ago, they were trying to put us on influencing for COVID-19 vaccine. All right. Now they ask you, how many social media pages are you on? They listen. How many followers do you have? How many impressions do you have in a month? Based on all of this, they determine the amount of money they're going to pay you. So guess what? I'm everywhere. Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Telegram. That's what you're supposed to do. And focus on the one that gives you a lot of money, but don't ignore all of the others too. Okay?
I think if you start thinking of the stress, you wouldn't be able to do them. But there's some level of growth that comes with being everywhere. All right? It hasn't been easy. I'm not asking you to try it. It hasn't been easy. I have 2 businesses. I have an NGO that has 2 branches under it. That's like 4 or 5, plus my personal account, plus a corporate brand I'm handling right now. I'm logged into all of them. And before I started shedding off responsibility to people, I was posting on all of them. I had a content creator, but I was planning content with him, posting on all their accounts. And that's just Instagram, Facebook, Twitter now, LinkedIn. I post on all the platforms. Do you understand? So it depends on the type of growth you want. If you want to monetize quickly, as she said, YouTube is the way to go. If you know it's just about lifestyle and you just want to create the brand first, you know, Instagram is there. We have Reels now. We have TikTok. You'll be getting gifts and all of those things. It's different. But it depends on the type of growth you want. All right? So please, if you can't manage everything, don't stress to be everywhere. Just start. Maybe I have a target. In my diary, I have a goal. My goal was to reach, I think, 10,000 followers on LinkedIn this year. And when I went back to my diary, I've done 14, just a plus 4,000. Do you understand? So you can set a goal. Maybe I'm going to be on Instagram for this period of time. Maybe when I get 5,000, I move to the next app. And right now it's so easy. When you post on Instagram, you can schedule straight to Facebook. So Instagram and Facebook is 1. Just add a 3rd one. That's 3. And the type of content you post on YouTube is different, even with the size. Yes. So it's different. So you can do it.
So I think we have come to the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much to our beautiful and handsome panelists. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.